Ooh. Okay. Oh, hey there. How are you? Good? Me too. You know. So I thought I'd do something a little differently today, which is why we got this one-on-one situation going on here. I've got this story that I've been meaning to tell about this seriously insane photo that I took in the Vatican a couple months back. It's like, I'm convinced it's the craziest photo that I've ever taken by far. I haven't shared it anywhere online or with really anyone besides the people that were there when I took it, because you need to hear the story in order to appreciate it. So I figured this was the perfect occasion to share it finally. Anyways, without further ado, here's the story of the craziest photo that I've ever taken. Okay, so earlier this summer, I was on tour with my college big band,
the Oregon Jazz Ensemble.
Our tour took us through Switzerland, down through France, and then south along the west coast of Italy. I was having the most incredible time taking photos and exploring all these incredible ancient cities that we were visiting along the way. One of which was the Italian city of Siena, where we visited this incredible cathedral called Il Duomo di Siena. That's Italian for the Cathedral of Siena. Now, this is one of the most beautiful cathedrals, certainly in Italy, maybe in the world. It has all these beautiful frescoes and sculptures, even this ancient Gregorian chant sheet music that's like huge. So anyways, I must have been taken aback by all this beauty because on the way out of the cathedral, I slipped on the marble staircase leading up to the cathedral. Now, when I slipped, I had my camera around my shoulder like this. So the lens was facing behind me and I fell backwards and my lens landed right on the marble step of the cathedral. I got up, picked up my camera, looked at it, looked at the lens, and the front was completely cracked. Now, luckily I had a UV filter on, one of these little guys. A glass filter that actually protects the lens in occasions such as this, when you fall, and make sure you don't crack your actual expensive glass. So the good news was I only had a crack in my UV filter, but the thing is, it got kind of pushed into the little metal screwy teeth on the lens. I think that's the technical term for them. Anyways, it got pushed in there so I couldn't screw it off. It was stuck. It was stuck on the front of the lens. And there was no way for me to take it off because we didn't have time to stop at a camera shop and I wasn't gonna try and pry it off with some tools that I had around. I just decided there were only 3 days left of the tour. It was best to just leave it on there and take it off properly when I got home. So I was gonna have to deal with a cracked UV filter for the rest of the trip, which I figured wasn't a huge deal because when shooting at a low aperture, you can't really even notice the cracks unless you're shooting toward the sun. If I was to point the camera at the sun, there are gonna be these crazy lens flares due to the light coming in and refracting all over the place off of these cracks in the lens. Okay, so fast forward a few days, and now we're in Rome. It's the last day of our tour, and we only had a few hours really to check out the city. So one of our priorities was to go visit the Vatican. We got into the Vatican at about 3:30 or so, and there was just this light coming through the windows high up in the dome of the cathedral, and the light was creating these beautiful light rays in through the windows up high, and it looked gorgeous. It was incredibly holy looking. So anyways, I'm walking around the Vatican, just looking around, taking photos, trying to find a good shot, especially of these light rays, because we felt really lucky to have gotten there right at the right time to capture these light rays coming in through the cathedral. So I'm looking for a good angle of these light rays and kind of looking in toward the light, and I see this girl, this tourist girl, didn't know her, but she was just standing right in the path of the light. And so I thought, you know, that might make a really cool photo. I've been looking for a subject to kind of be lit by this holy light coming in from the windows of the Vatican, right? So, you know, I just take the shot, move on, don't really think twice about it. A few minutes later, I decided to check out the photos, and I'm scrolling through and I stop on that one. I looked at it and my jaw literally dropped. I couldn't believe what had just happened. I looked at this photo and What had happened was the light rays coming in and refracting on my cracked filter created this flare on the image that was positioned perfectly on this girl's back to look like angel wings. I was like, how is that possible? It was the most random thing. Just, I happened to have a cracked UV filter and it happened to create these lens flares that looked exactly like angel wings that happened to be positioned right on this girl, right in this spot of light in the Vatican. In the Vatican! I was like seriously considering converting to Christianity or something because it seemed like a sign from God. It was quite a profound moment, I'll have to say that. Now, I have no idea who this girl is. Would have tried to find her and, show her the photo if I could, but there were so many people in there and I'd taken the photo a while before I realized what I really had. And so, she was long gone. I still just couldn't believe the luck and the random circumstance that led to this incredible image. I still don't know what to do with it because it's really not a great photograph. I mean, if you look closely, it's like blurry, it's not that in focus. Technically speaking, it's really not that great, but it's so much more than that because of the circumstances and the story and the fact that we were in the Vatican, and it just blew my mind, to be honest. I think this goes to show something really important, and that's that whenever you have something that seems like a setback or something that just seems like a pain in the ass, always try and look at it from a different perspective and see if you can create something interesting with it. If I had taken that ND filter off, I never would have got this shot. If I had not cracked it in the first place, I never would have got this shot. If I had decided to just not take photos in the Vatican because of my cracked ND filter, then I never would have gotten this shot either. It's all about just rolling with the punches and trying to make it work no matter what the circumstances. You'll find that sometimes in the face of adversity, when everything seems to be going wrong and you have to be creative to find a new solution to the problem, you'll come up with the most interesting things because they're things that you never would have thought of otherwise. This shot certainly wouldn't have happened if everything was just going the way it should. And I found that the most fun moments in photography and videography are when you have really challenging circumstances that you have to overcome in order to make something work to get the shot right. To me, it's really moments like those that make all of the hard work we put in as photographers worth it. So that's about it for this one. I hope you guys liked the story. I certainly enjoyed telling it. I'm thinking about doing a lot more photography related content on this channel. So if you liked the video today, let me know, comment below. If you didn't like it, let me know as well. I want to cater the content to what you guys want. Also, if you liked the video, throw me a like, maybe subscribe. It really does make a difference. I'll be doing this every week, so I'll see you next Wednesday.